I've been getting a lot of messages recently from my followers saying, Arslan, I've been getting a lot of messages and I've been trolled by CCP Shields and the 50 Cent Chinese social media army. And they're saying, what sort of arguments can I use to rebut what they're saying? And they're saying that the Uyghurs are happy and that there is no oppression going on. And this is very simple. So number one, tell them, why doesn't China just let independent investigators in and give them unfettered access? So I'll give you an example of this. Iran always has to let independent investigators in and give them unfettered access so that they can prove that they are not making nuclear weapons, right? This is a given. And if they don't, they're sanctioned, right? Number two, why can't Uyghurs ever leave the region? Why can't they travel freely and go about? They are technically on paper Chinese citizens. Why don't they have Chinese passports and why have their passports been taken away from them? Number three, with any issue in the world, right, there are always two sides of the coin. So I'll give you an example of this. In the United States, there are Black Americans saying that there is systematic racism and that, they're being oppressed by the American government and Black Lives Matter, and that story. And there are other Black Americans saying, no, that there is no systematic racism and it's all hunky-dory. It's all good, right? So with whatever issue there is, there are always two sides of the story and both voices have their voices, right? But in China, no matter what group you're dealing with, you'll never hear. So for example, have you ever heard of just one critical voice criticizing the Chinese Communist Party who is a Uyghur still living and still who is able to speak? No, there isn't. That is a big red flag. So these are some arguments that you can use against the Chinese 50 Cent social media army, people's shilling. And the last one would be, there is no free media in China. All of the media that you see is all state-run in one way or another. So you can't trust these dancing videos whatsoever unless people are let in. Take everything coming out of China with a grain of salt. And that would be my advice.